So yeah, so today, guys, I want to talk to you about my favorite nutrient-dense keto foods. And that this was really hard to come up with I've got 5. And I talked about it in the Motivational Monday this morning too, but you know, for those of you who didn't read it, and we can talk a little bit more in detail here, but it was hard for me to pick because I have a lot of favorites. I mean, I've been kind of a natural health groupie, I don't know what you want to call it, for many, many years. And I have lots of favorites, but these ones, I would say I adore these ones. These are the ones like I cannot live without. These are my absolute favorites. Not coming in. Okay, little convo going on in here. So anyways, in case anybody is new here, I just want to say welcome. My name is Lita, and I just want to let you know that I am not a doctor. But I'm super passionate about keto and natural health and all the ways that we can improve our health naturally. But as always, anything that I talk about here is just my opinion. Please discuss anything new that you want to try with your doctor and do your own research. Okay, so today, talking about my favorite nutrient-dense keto foods. Okay, so like I said, I have lots of favorites. And I've narrowed it down to, I would say, my top 5 that I can't live without. And I'll tell you what my criteria was for deciding on these 5, okay? Obviously, it has to be keto friendly. Low to no carbs. That was also part of it. Extra bang for your health buck with these products. And ease of use. So meaning super easy to use it in your day. You don't have to worry about complicated recipes or anything like that. It's super easy to squeak these into your day. So that was my criteria for picking my 5 favorites. So I'm going to start off with Hemp Hearts. That's the one I'm going to start off with. Now, Chia and Hemp Hearts is kind of interesting because when I was typing everything out, I realized that Chia Seeds and Hemp Hearts have a lot of similarities. So I'm going to talk about that first. Oops, just hit the mic. I'm going to talk about that first. I'm reading from my list here. They're both loaded with antioxidants. They're both high in fiber. They're both an excellent source of protein. They're both very high in omega-3 fatty acids. Now, Chia specifically is high in important bone supporting nutrients such as calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. And hemp is a natural source of vitamin Bs, potassium, sodium, iron, and zinc. Now, both of these, back to both of these, they may reduce blood sugar levels, reduce chronic inflammation, and may lower your risk of heart disease. So they're fantastic. And the reason why I kind of group them together is because I don't know why, but I always seem to use both of them at the same time. And I'm going to give you my favorite recipe that I use. So Chia Seeds, sorry, I have a couple of some notes here, so I'm just going to go back and forth between the 2 sheets. But the Chia Seeds, I just want to say that for 3 tablespoons, so when I was talking about my criteria that I wanted it to be no or low carb, listen to this. Chia Seeds, for 3 tablespoons, 0 net carbs. That's like keto bonanza, right? 7 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. Okay, so that's a really good ratio for the chia seed. It works best if you add it to a liquid and let it stand for about 10 minutes or more. I know people that will put chia seeds like on their salads and stuff, but I don't know, like, I mean, you can do that. You can totally do that. But for me, I've tried that before in a salad. And then you know how your salad's, it's moist. It's a little bit damp or whatever. And then it starts kind of gelling up partially. And so it's kind of part crunchy and part jelly. And I don't know. For me, I would just rather bring it to a full gel of how I wanted it to be, right? It takes about 10 minutes. Then I will put it you know, in smoothies, protein shakes, salad dressings, or my favorite recipe. So I'm going to give you my favorite recipe after I talk about hemp, because I put the chia and the hemp together. I call it like a chia hemp pudding. You guys have probably seen me talk about it in the group before. I absolutely love it. Okay, so before I talk about that recipe, I want to talk about the hemp. So all the things that I already said about chia applies health-wise. Now, the hemp, where is it? Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. I thought I had a different section totally for it, so I'm going to read it. Sorry, I'm going to read it right from here. This is, oh, and I'm going to show you my packages that I use too. Okay, so the hemp, it is 0 net carbs. No, 1 gram, sorry, 1 gram net carbs, which is like nothing. 10 grams of protein. This is for 3 tablespoons, 15 grams of fat. So again, the ratios are so good. They're absolutely amazing. I'll show you quickly. This is the brand that I use. I don't know. This is from Canada. So I don't know. There's tons of this kind of stuff out there. I mean, I'm always looking for non-GMO. That's always something that I look for if I can. I get it at Costco. The price is right. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is the one that I get. And then going back to chia, sorry, kind of all over the place here because I got 2 different sheets. It's throwing me off. That's the brand that I like. They're organic. Again, I get it from Costco. Anytime I can get something from Costco, if it's a quality product, I am happy to buy it. But again, there's all kinds of really good ones out there. Okay, so they're very, very similar in the nutrition factor. Like they are superstars. And to get something with that much nutrients in it, that many nutrients, much, whatever. To get that with 1 gram of net carbs or 0, I mean, that is fantastic. That is like what we're always looking for in some kind of a keto food, right? So my hemp chia pudding, I have this almost every day. Almost every day if I'm eating a meal. Like if I'm eating 1 or 2 meals, I will have this every day because of the health benefits. So I do 3 tablespoons of Hemp Hearts. I can pop this in at the end as well in the chat. 3 tablespoons of the Hemp Hearts, 3 tablespoons of the chia seeds, a half a cup of almond milk is what I use, but cashew milk is fine. Any kind of a nut milk. And then I just put it in the morning. I have like a little glass jar. I put that all in. I stick it in the fridge in the morning, get on with my day. And then if I happen to come upstairs like midday or whatever, my office is downstairs, but it has a lid on it and I give it just like a little shake. But even if you don't do that, it's totally fine. And it's going to gel up. They said it takes 10 minutes. I like it to sit all day. The longer it sits, the better. I like it. And it gets nice and thick, kind of like a pudding. Like it truly is like a pudding. Then when you go to have it, so it's kind of like my dessert most days, then you can do what you want with it. Now, if you want to add sweetener, that's totally up to you. My personal fave is Swerve brown sugar. So, you know, when you're having, in the olden days, when you used to have oatmeal and you put brown sugar on top of your oatmeal, this is oh, and you can heat it up if you want to. I have it cold. I just pull it out of the fridge, but you could totally heat this up. The Swerve brown sugar, it's just awesome. I just sprinkle a little bit of that on the top. And I love to have toasted almond slivers on the top. I put that on the top too. Sometimes I'll even throw in a couple berries. If I happen to have some raspberries or blackberries or something like that in the fridge, I might throw that in depending on what I have left for the day. That kind of determines what I'm going to have. Anyways, it's an awesome, awesome like dessert, or it could even be a meal replacement, honestly, if that's what you want to do. It's awesome. I love it. And it's like I said, you just throw it in and throw it in the fridge and let it sit all day. And there you go. It's just sitting there waiting for you. Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about in my list of faves is nutritional yeast. Now, Dr. Berg is famous for talking about nutritional yeast because it's his favorite too. This is the brand that I use just because I happen to like this brand with apple cider vinegar. But you know what? There's I'm sure other nutritional yeast out there, but this is what I get from my health food store. It's the Bragg's brand. Now for this, you're getting, let me talk about the nutrients first. So it boosts energy. It supports the immune system. It improves skin, hair, and nails. It helps improve the metabolism. It's high in minerals and the B vitamins, especially B1. That's a thing that Dr. Berg talks about all the time, is that out of all the Bs, B1 is the hardest one to get, especially from our food, unless you're taking a super good B complex. And so this is very rich in B1. Supports nerve, muscle, and heart function. It may lower blood sugar levels. It may improve insulin resistance, and it may aid in weight loss. So that's why it's a superstar. Now, it has, for 1 tablespoon of this, 1 gram of net carbs, 2 grams of protein, 0 fat. And I don't know if you guys have ever had this before, but it tastes buttery. So I will fully admit that back in the day when I used to eat popcorn on a regular basis, someone at the health food store had told me to drizzle my popcorn with butter and then with this. And I was absolutely in love. Of course, I don't eat popcorn anymore, very rarely, but it is very good on pork rinds. You can do the same thing. You can break up pork rinds, you can drizzle on a little butter, and then you can put this on. But I will say that this on its own, on dry, not so great, but in anything like a soup or a stew, stir fry, eggs, amazing in eggs, it just tastes like butter. It kind of has a buttery thing. I find it works best when you put it in something that's a liquid. I tried putting it on a salad one time and it was kind of like, I can kind of, taste the dry flakes or whatever. So I like soups, stir fries, especially eggs. Eggs is like 100%. But basically anything that I have that's liquid, now I don't mean like coffee. I don't mean anything like that. Anything that's savory that's liquid, I will put it in there. And my whole family gets it. Like I put it in for everyone because it's super, super good for you. Okay, what do I have next? Apple cider vinegar. You know I love that one. I talk about my digestive drink all the time in the group. It's super good. That's in guide 4 if you're looking for that. That's an awesome drink, and I have that drink every morning. But apple cider vinegar, it lowers blood sugar. It's extremely good for diabetics or for insulin-resistant people. It improves digestion. It improves heartburn and acid reflux. Okay, sidebar, I just have to talk about this. So even before I did keto, I had flaming heartburn, like absolute flaming heartburn. Now, looking back on it, of course, I was eating wheat and I was eating like crappy carbs and whatever. So there was a lot of reasons why I had that heartburn. But even before I went off grains and even before I started keto, I had heard about apple cider vinegar for heartburn. So I started taking a tablespoon in a big glass of water and I was drinking it like once a day. Could not believe the difference. Could not believe the difference. It literally, I was a Zantac 150 girl. Like I had to take Zantac 150 if I even felt the tiniest little heartburn coming on. This stuff works so great for heartburn. So this is part of my everyday life. And now, of course, I don't eat grains and I eat keto. And so, of course, that really, really helps. But I'm just telling you, if you or anyone you know suffers from heartburn or acid reflux, please give this a try. And don't drink it straight. Oh, dear goodness. It is kind of strong and it's not great for your teeth. Like it's acidic, of course. So you want to mix it in with some water. And then I just drink it. I don't worry about my teeth and I swish a little bit of water after. I mean, it's no different than drinking coffee as far as I'm concerned, as far as the acid part, right? But anyways, it's so good for heartburn. So just had to emphasize that. Okay. It helps reduce belly fat. It helps reduce belly fat, may improve heart health, and may have protective effects against cancer. Okay, this is based on research, so do your own research on that one. But there's some studies that show that. So yeah, it's really, really great. And there's like basically nothing in it. There's 0 macros, there's 0 calories. So as far on a macro standpoint and a fasting standpoint, you can totally have it when you're fasting. It doesn't break a fast. There's no macros to count. You don't have to count anything whatsoever. And one thing to look for, so I will show you the one that I have. This is the most popular brand, Bragg's. Most people know this brand. Hopefully you can see that. And you see right there where it says with the mother, there's a reason why they put that, because now that there's a lot of other brands out there and stuff like that, there is such thing as getting apple cider vinegar without the mother. And what is the mother? I wrote that down. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have it. Nope, I don't. Okay, well, basically it's like this strands of protein and dense nutrients and enzymes that kind of form together. Like if you look on the bottom, you'll see there's this almost like silt. Maybe you can actually see those if I hold it up. Well, you can't really see it, but there's little blobby things at the bottom, and it's kind of like murky or whatever. And that's how come before you use it, it's always really good to give it a really good shake before you measure it out. So you're getting a little bit of the mother. But it's important that whatever brand you have, whether it's capsules or whether it's liquid, just make sure it says with the mother. Okay, because they can't legally say that unless they actually have that in there. So just make sure that you have that so that you're getting the best quality apple cider vinegar that you can. So my next one is my product that I have to talk about. I mean, they're my product. All my products are amazing, but when I'm talking about the superstars and the one that I absolutely cannot live without, I have to talk about my bone broth protein powder. This product, honestly, it really is a superstar, and yet it doesn't get as much attention, and it's trickier to use because it's not like, oh, you throw it in your coffee. I mean, some people actually put it in their coffee. I personally do not like this product in my coffee. Some people do, but it's not quite as easy, but it is still very easy if you want to make a shake, and I'll tell you my favorite recipe in a second. But for one serving, it has 0 net carbs. Okay, 0 carbs, 0 total carbs, 0 net carbs, 0. It has 20 grams of protein, 3 types of collagen, so amazing for skin, hair, and nails. And it's super gut healing. That's the thing I love about this. I feel like I'm always healing my gut every time I drink this. And it has 19 amino acids. It's really a superstar. And I have this every day that I'm eating. I always have this. And I just take a scoop of this, and I take my nut milk, and I usually add some MCT powder to it as well, but again, depending on my macros that day, and then a little bit of like either a couple of berries or some stevia flavor drops, or whatever I'm kind of feeling like that day. Blend it up. It's creamy. It's good. It's like, I wouldn't say it's like a milkshake because it's not as thick as a milkshake for sure, but it has that when you're having a milkshake in the olden days when you used to have a milkshake, and it just has that flavor and that goodness and that creaminess. That's what it has. So, and it's just such a superstar when it comes to the nutrients and what it does for your body. So those in a nutshell, those are my 5 absolute faves that I have. Well, I mean, unless I'm doing some pretty hardcore fasting, in which case I would have, nothing other than my fatty coffee. I have these things every day. I feel like, back when I first started keto, like I've always been really interested in natural health, of course. But when I first started keto, like a lot of people, I was a little bit more concerned about my macro count than I was about the nutrients that I was getting at the beginning, because I was really trying to lose weight. And that was, just got to keep those carbs down and everything. And then I realized as time went on that how important it is to have these nutrients. If we're just filling ourselves up with emptiness, things that are low in carbs, but they're not really giving us any nutrients, it may look good in your macro app, but it's not going to look good over time, and it's not going to feel good over time, right? We're trying to really improve our health. We're trying to prevent health conditions. We're trying to overcome some health conditions that we're working on. Eating the most nutrient-dense foods that you can is always going to improve your gut health. It's going to improve the look and feel of your skin, hair, and nails. It's going to make you feel energetic and vibrant. And it really does help us to lose weight. It helps us keep our blood sugar low. I can't say enough about nutrient-dense foods and how important it is to try to get it in for your day. So things that I do to try to work it in is that when I'm kind of figuring out what I'm going to have each day, and especially like if I'm only eating 1 meal a day, I want to make sure that I am getting these in. And so in the morning, I'll kind of just enter in these things first thing so I can kind of see what my tracker looks like. And then when I get to the dinner part, then I kind of know what's left. I mean, you can also plan your whole dinner and everything, but I tend to be like, these are the things that I absolutely want to get in my day. And then when dinner comes, I know what dinner is. I know what the protein is. I know what the veg is and all that kind of stuff. But I tend to play the little, how many macros do I have left after I've minused off my favorite nutrient dense foods. So that's kind of the game I like to play. And then I just kind of fill in the gaps. But listen, you guys, tell me, like, do you guys use any of the products that I talked about? Or do you have a fave that I haven't mentioned here? Going by my criteria, remember my criteria: keto friendly, low to no carbs, extra bang for your health buck, and ease of use. Tell me if you guys have any. I'm just going to go back here and see if anybody has asked anything or said anything. It's pretty quiet today. And poor Linda looks like she's trying to get on and she's having some issues. Yeah. So I don't see any questions or any comments, but you guys just comment in here if do you use chia seeds? Do you use Hemp Hearts, nutritional yeast, apple cider vinegar, or my bone broth protein powder? Let me know if you guys use any of them. I honestly cannot live without these products. They are definitely part of my everyday. So Kathy says, I sprinkled nutritional, I'm going to think you're saying nutritional yeast. Do you sprinkle that on stuff? Yeah, it is pretty easy, like just to put it on anything you want. Like I said, I did try putting it on a salad and it was kind of like, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't offensive or anything, but I prefer it in the creamy stuff. But you really can sprinkle on anything. And if I'm doing something that's hot, like I'll say like a stew, and say I didn't, actually mix it into the whole batch or whatever, you absolutely can just sprinkle it on top. Sometimes I just keep this on the table. And then when I'm having dinner, I'll just kind of sprinkle it on anything that's either moist or hot. And it just kind of like absorbs right in. It's almost like putting butter on something and it just kind of melts in. Kathy says she puts, yeast in the eggs today. Yeah, I love it in eggs. That's my absolute favorite. Ingrid says, I sometimes make chia pudding. Yes. Isn't it good? And you can do, honestly, that recipe that I told you is so versatile. You could put in a little bit of raw cacao. You could put in some flavoring. I mean, there really isn't anything that you can't do with it. I almost think of it like a pudding / oatmeal is kind of what I think of it. Like, Kim, late as usual. Well, better late than never, Kim. Carmen, I use your bone broth powder when I want a nice warm bowl of chicken and veggie soup. Yeah, you can absolutely add this to existing. This is flavorless, by the way. People think that this has, because it comes from beef bones, they think it's going to taste like beef. There is no flavor. Okay. So when I say there's no flavor, if you mix it in with water, you'd go, this doesn't just taste like water. But what I mean is there's no beef flavor. And when you add any other flavor with this, such as you're making soup or you want to add it to a stew, I use this to thicken my gravies all the time. It takes on the flavor of whatever you're adding to it. So when I'm doing my protein shake with my little stevia drops or whatever, I mean, sometimes I make it like a creamsicle. I've got orange flavor drops and a little MCT powder to it, and it's all creamy and it tastes like a creamsicle. So it doesn't have a flavor on its own. It takes on whatever flavor you're adding to it. Let's see, Jan, chia seed pudding, nutritional yeast and scrambled eggs, apple cider vinegar, and lemon juice. Yes, lemon juice is another great one. I didn't have it on my top 5 list, but it is a really good one too. Those are really good things. Kim, I'm using nutritional yeast now, right now. Okay, she's probably having dinner. Bonnie, I had a heck of a time getting on this tonight. Oh no, Bonnie, I'm so sorry. Whenever I post that I'm going to be doing, which is every Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I will pin it in announcements. So if you have a hard time, you can go to announcements. The other place that I put it is in the group. If you look under events, now, of course, Facebook has changed things. So it's more and then events, depending on where you're looking, but that's, I think, how it shows up. I always post in events all of my Coffee with Litas. And when you find this one, if you look in the little description, right in there, it says, here is the link to this talk. And you can click right on there and you can get in. So if you're looking for me, look in announcements, or look in events. And I've got them pinned in both of those areas so that you can find me, because I know Facebook is like, I can have all the alerts till the cows come home. And I will mention this too, for you guys that get alerted on Messenger. Something you have to remember is that you, unfortunately, this is a Facebook rule now. You have to click the button on the bottom that says watch now. You have to click it every time in order to get notified the next time. So you click it, and then a thing comes down that will say watch now. Like, even though it says watch now, another one will come down that says watch now. And then it will say something like notify me next time, something like that. And you have to do that every single time. This is a new Facebook rule, unfortunately. So you may not have found, like, you might have counted on getting notifications on Messenger, but unless you hit that every time, you're not going to get the next one. So, but besides that, you can find it in announcements and in events. Yeah, Cheryl. So hopefully you heard that thing that I just said. So to make it a little bit easier to find. So Cheryl, you were getting the Messenger alert. So I'm wondering if maybe you didn't click it like watch now, so that you will get the notification for the next one. Just click it and you'll see what I mean. Just go into your search bar and type in intentionally bare, and you'll find the last one that was sent to you. And then you can click it, and then you'll be set for the next one. That's just how it works. Yeah, Facebook is frustrating. That's all I'm going to say. I'm trying to be patient with it. I'm thankful for the service. I really like what Facebook allows us to do, allows us to do this, allows us to talk in our group. But sometimes there's some things that I just have to go, I just have to be patient. Anyways, you guys, that was my message for today. I just wanted to present this because, like I was saying before, I think that, you know, just going strictly by what your macros are and what the, you know, what you're looking for your carb count is really not going to give us what we want. Ultimately, we want to have amazing health. Absolutely. Number one, we want to have amazing health. And then weight loss is great too. I mean, we all want the weight loss. That is a bonus as far as I'm concerned, because if you don't have your health, what do you have? So we have to be striving for this ultimate health. And these 5 products are in my Superstar Academy of food products. I just think that I literally do have these every day. Every day that unless I'm doing like, you know, no complete fast, I have these every single day. And I think that they have helped transform my health. And yeah, as we're getting older, you know, we want to look as good as we can too, right? So why not get that bonus? And all of these items will help with that as well. That's just, I always love a win-win. Yeah. So anyways, you guys, that's what I had to say for today. I hope you guys have a really nice evening. I'm so excited because I have my OMAD meal tonight. I've got marinated chicken and a big salad, and I've got my chia pudding already in the fridge. I'm ready to have that. And I'm going to have my bone broth drink too. So those are sort of my desserts that I have, my bone broth protein drink and my chia pudding. Those are like what I have after dinner pretty much every day that I'm eating. So I will pop those recipes into the chat here just so that you can see it like in text. And yeah, health does matter, Corinza. Health does matter. It makes such a difference in our life, right? To be as healthy as we can be. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Bonnie says she loves the collagen. Yes, that's another one. It was really hard for me to make it just to the 5 products, and I didn't want to do too much overwhelming, but the next time I do one, I'll do my next 5 favorites, and that will definitely be in that one because it is a superstar as well. Anyways, you guys, take care, have a super nice evening, and I will talk to you in the group. Okay, bye. Hey guys, before you go, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time we have a new video posted. Also, down in the description, I will have links to everything that we talked about in our chat today, including information on how you can join my Intentionally Bare Keto support group. See you next time.